good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this week's Weekly Energy Boost. My name is Elisheva, and I'm excited to be with you for another mini episode for this summer series. Today we are talking about putting the soul in soulmates, and hopefully you've enjoyed the shift in energy over the last week or two, feeling lighter, feeling more energetic, feeling more inspired, and it's the perfect time when you feel good and in the flow to take stock and inventory on the things you can improve, not because the universe is forcing you to, but because you have the luxury and leisure of time and effort to put in the work that can create lasting change. Weekly Energy Boost is a 7-day spiritual weather forecast. And this summer we're doing shorter versions, but nonetheless sharing the same powerful wisdom and tools to help you navigate the coming 7 days from the wisdom of Kabbalah, even though what we're teaching and talking about is focused on the opportunity of the present week. It's wisdom and tools you can use any time of the year, any year of your life. And whether you're in a relationship or not, this week really gives us the opportunity to elevate our consciousness. And whenever we talk about consciousness, if we're elevating our consciousness, that's going to be reflected in the way we live our lives in the world, physically through thoughts, words, and actions. So when we talk about, and I bring that up because you may be in a partnership right now, you may be in what you consider a soulmate relationship, and there's still the opportunity to elevate it. So the goal after hearing this week's episode is to really be mindful this week of all the opportunities you have to elevate yourself in not only, I can say yes, in all aspects, but specifically as a partner. And we'll talk about what that means now. Most people think, oh, I want my soulmate. We're going to look into each other's eyes. We're not even going to have to speak, or we're going to finish each other's sentences, or they're going to know, they're going to know me so well, so exactly, so precisely. I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but that's not really what a soulmate relationship is. Soulmate relationships originate from the teaching that we were all originally one soul, half masculine, half feminine. And when we came to the physical reality, all that original soul broke up into infinite soul. Well, not infinite, there is a limited number, but many, 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 too much to enumerate, souls, pieces of souls. And as we come together, we're putting the puzzle of humanity back together. And once enough of those pieces are put together, that's part of the process that brings us to that dramatic shift that the Kabbalists talk about and ends of pain and suffering in our world, in our reality. So what does that have to do with me? What does that have to do with my quest for my soulmate or to be a better soulmate? Is that having a soulmate is hard work. Having a soulmate, we'll talk about being a soulmate in a minute. Having a soulmate means you have the most specific tool tailored to your soul's transformation to help you along that journey. And transformation isn't always easy. So I think for most, let's say single individuals, the desire often comes up to find that special someone. Sometimes because of past experiences, we might shut ourselves off to the opportunity, or I've heard many people say over the years, God doesn't want me to have a relationship. There's no such thing. There's nothing that God does not want. God only wants goodness, fulfillment, light for every single individual according to the capacity that they have. So anytime someone comes to me or any of the other Kabbalah Centre teachers and says, why don't I have this thing? It could be anything, right? Not just a soulmate. Why don't I feel connected to my purpose? Why don't I have financial freedom? Why don't I have the solution to a health crisis? The reason, no matter what the lack is not that the Creator doesn't want it for us. It's that we somehow don't have the vessel for it. Maybe we don't have the vessel yet for it. Maybe there's certain transformation or cleansing we need to go through, but it's really all about preparing our vessel to receive that thing. And I think when it comes to finding a soulmate, the best preparation for the vessel is, let's say the beginning of the preparation for the vessel to receive their soulmate is really the knowledge, the realization that you cannot do your spiritual work alone. Maybe you can do some of it alone, but you cannot accomplish all of it alone. And the more we foster that level of humility in ourselves, it's not about self-deprecation or putting ourselves down. It's literally realizing that we're not meant to live this life alone, and we all need help. Needing help is not a weakness. It's literally the way that the system was rigged. If we were meant to do our work alone, every human being would sprout from a plant on its own individual mountain and not need a single human being to interact with. But the fact is, or let's say the Kabbalistic fact is, that the way that we do our work is with each other. People mirror our negative qualities for us. People push our buttons. People give us opportunities to go against our nature, to be proactive, to be unconditional. And until we're open to the reality that we need other people, we can't really create the space needed for our other half to come in. Or if you're in a relationship and you don't acknowledge that you need help from that person, and I don't mean that you're helpless, but that you need help, you're limiting the element of a soulmate relationship to exist in your partnership. So it's important to also bring into our conversation, as we often do on Weekly Energy Boost, the deeper, more advanced teaching around this is that the institution of relationships was created so that we could emulate the relationship between all the souls of humanity and the light force of the Creator that existed in the reality that the Kabbalists call the endless world. Before creation, before the physical reality, before the Big Bang existed, there was a reality called the endless world in which the light of the Creator and the vessel, which is all the souls of humanity, lived together in perfect harmony. The light of the Creator giving endlessly, the vessel receiving endlessly, until the vessel decided it can no longer receive endlessly without being the creator of that connection. And that's the 30-second summer mini episode version of the creation of the world. That's what started the Big Bang and the manifestation of the physical universe. And eventually that led to Adam and Eve and human beings, as well as, by the way, the dinosaurs and the Neanderthals and everyone in between. That's what created the reality that we're in now. And the institution of relationships exists so that we can emulate the original relationship between the light and the vessel. So that does not mean, and maybe I should repeat that, the institution of relationships, the construct of relationships exists so that we can emulate the light and the vessel, so that we can learn what it truly means to have a partnership, not only with another human being, but with the light force of the Creator. And if we're honest with ourselves, especially if we're single in 2024, we're probably looking for less than that. We're probably settling for someone who looks good, is, has the right intellect to match ours, is, self-supporting. We might have a lower bar than I need somebody in my life who's going to help me emulate the light force of the Creator, right? So part of the awakening, and I think one of the most beautiful teachings, is that as you elevate your consciousness, and that's one of the great teachings from this week's Zohar section, is that as you elevate yourself, you elevate everything and everyone around you. So where you're operating now, you may have a certain partner coming towards you or in your reality that is meeting you where you're at right now, is going to serve the needs or the purposes for which you think you want them right now. But as you elevate to need a different kind and quality of partner. And so that's why sometimes relationships don't last forever, is because one person or the other elevates themselves to a space where there's no longer the alignment that existed when they were on the same plane, whether it was a year ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, it doesn't really matter. But when we understand that the person that is our partner, whether we're with them now or we're in the process of drawing them toward us, is really a hologram in a way that allows us to become more of the creator that we can become. That as we bring that soulmate energy into our lives, we realize that relationships, if we let them be, are the most powerful tool for spiritual growth that exists. And when we think again about that idea that we're meant to, that our relationships are really there to help us develop a stronger relationship with the Creator, right? A lot of us might think, well, look at my reality. I created that. I caused that. I got the education. I bought the house. I built the business or whatever else you do or you did. Maybe you're an artist and you went to school and you trained and you put in your 10,000 plus hours, and what you create is yours. Kabbalah teaches that what you create is the way the light force of the Creator expresses itself through you. Even as you speak, you have an idea, you share it at a meeting, that's the light of the Creator expressing itself through you. You're simply the instrument, the vehicle, and the vessel. This week, we can absorb, if we're open to it and we let it in, the gift of humility. To know that not only we depend on other people to help us grow and transform, but we also depend on the Creator. And when you realize that fact, you let yourself internalize it, really digest it, that helps you build a greater desire for that partnership. Many times I ask students, how is this particular situation helping you get closer to the Creator? How does it get close? How are you getting closer to the Creator has two meanings. One is, how is this challenge or this situation strengthening your relationship with the Creator? Are you talking more to the Creator? Are you asking for more help? Are you meditating? Are you praying? Are you asking yourself, why would the light put this in my movie? Why would the light put this situation in front of me? How is this for me? How can I learn from it? How can I grow from it? And the second meaning to how is this situation helping you grow closer to the light is, in Kabbalah, closeness is not about proximity. Closeness is about affinity, similarity of form. So how is the situation helping you to become more light-like? How is this person in front of you giving you more opportunities to become more light-like? And when we recognize that we require that kind of help, we create the space for it. And when we create the space for it, the light rushes to fill that space. So whether the light comes to us in the form of a spouse, a soulmate, a partner, or a miracle, all of those things are a product of a growing relationship with the light force of the Creator. So hopefully we'll use that opportunity this week to grow our partnership with our existing partner, our future partner, and of course, the most important partner in this romance at all, which is really the light of the Creator. Weekly Energy Boost is available on all podcast platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can also visit our website, weeklyenergyboost.com, where you can find archives, a way to send us a message, as well as the donate button where you can click to support the production of our podcast. And as always, we encourage you to stop the episode right now, rate and review wherever you're listening, and then click the share button and share with as many people as you know need this message, which, in my opinion, is the entire planet. And we'll see you next week for another summer mini episode of Weekly Energy Boost.